Right, so another day on this. I've taken the wheels apart and unfortunately broken several of the spokes. A combination of thick paint and rust meant that the penetrating oil couldn't penetrate and it just sheared them off at the base of the nipple. So that's a shame. I have ordered some more. I've managed to salvage some, which I will clean up. And the reason I did this is because, I mean, you can't really see it in this light down here. There we go, that's better. That is just pitted and rotted and all sorts, so I need to completely strip those back, and it is easier to do that if they are not in one piece. The only downside is that with the actual drive hub, because only one wheel is driven, has got a great big like pin through it, and it's good and solid, so I'm not worrying about taking that out. But it does mean it is attached still to the drive axle. And just to give you a quick example, that is just a cursory. That's literally just a quick go with the sanding, just to bring it up from that instead of that. And that's had a quick go over it, but this is just better. I've already stripped off the forks, which are up there as well, so they're stripped down and ready to go. And I've also cleaned up the handlebar stem. I just need to get on with the handlebars, please ignore that. And then it is a case of just clean everything up, get the bits repainted. As I say, I've ordered some more of these, so I should have more than enough to rebuild all three wheels. And then it's just tidy up, reassemble, well, tidy up, repaint, reassemble. Again, you haven't seen that. So yeah, that's just a quick update on that, and we'll come back once this bar is finished, because I have no idea what sort of condition this hub is in. And don't forget, you haven't seen that. So one thing I will say with little projects like this is always take regular rest breaks, even if that just means going and making a brew. And of course wear the correct PPE, because the paintwork, you don't know what it is. It could be lead for all you know, so well ventilated area and correct particulate mask is always a good idea if you're sanding. So yeah, you don't want to go breathing that stuff in, it's not fun. But anyway, cheers, back to it in a minute. Well, it's looking a whole lot better. The lighting isn't great, half sun, half shadow, but never mind. There are a couple of sanding marks in it, but other than that, I'm very happy with that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape it off completely to protect it, and then we'll have a look at this hub, because I don't know if I'm going to need to paint that or not. So if I do need to paint this, we need to mask that off, so I might as well do that now just to protect it, save it getting any crap on it. So yeah, that's come out quite well. For the people who are sitting there going, oh, you know, what am I using? I've got a knockoff Dremel with an extension. This has got a little, like a meter extension. Saved my arms. I have bad shoulders, so repetitive sanding isn't good for me, whereas a knockoff rotary tool with a sanding head on it, bloody lovely, I've got to be fair. So everything I'm doing, I'm using that for, apart from the occasional hand bit just to finish it off. It's getting dust on it already, so I'll have to give that a quick wipe down with a spot of the old methylated spirits, and then mask it up, and then on to the next piece. Alright then folks, so I have primed and now painted this, just painted it so it is still wet. That's coming out really nicely. Not a fan of the primer filler I've been using. It keeps striating, so that's, I don't know what's causing that, but that's awkward. Luckily that's going to get some red primer before I paint it. You've still not seen that. That is the front drive hub, ignore that, which has now been primed, waiting for paintwork. And then I have stripped half of a wheel, and all that blue is where it has been pitted and the paint has stayed inside. Now, somebody has done a really, really good job of stripping this right back, one of the previous owners, but they didn't take care of any of the pitting, because I'm guessing what's caused that is where the chrome has rusted through and it's trapped, and that's actually just the steel. So there's no real buffing that out, unfortunately, and it's not like you're polishing the chrome, because there is no chrome. Somebody's
really gone to town in terms of stripping all these parts of old paint, and it's just a shame they decided to do it all one colour because it just looks a bit naff. And the actual finish of the top coat is that thick, it just didn't look great, I've got to be fair. So anyway, I have now stripped the front wheel bearing, tidied up the parts on that. I've got the actual bearings soaking now. Still got to do the other rear hub, so that's on the agenda. And again, you've still not seen that. I'll go into some detail on that at some point. But yes, I've still got to do all 3 wheels, because I've only done half of that one because it is very labour intensive. And then you can see in certain places where, if I can get it in the camera, where the paint, focus up, come on, where the paint is stuck. That's why the spokes broke, was because the paint was that thick. It sealed the nipple to the actual rim, so even once they'd broken, just getting the nipples out was hilarious, which again, that is the correct terminology. I was going to say I've got the remaining nipples in a jar, which I'm going to spray up, and well, I'm going to clean those up as well, because yes, I've ordered 95 spokes, which is more than enough for these because it's 20 per wheel, but I'm not sure they're the right size, and I'd rather use original if I can. But at the same time, if they turn up before I finish paintwork, then I might just use those. But yeah, one advisory: decent pair of gloves is always good, plenty of sandpaper is always good, as well as your Dremel. And then this stuff, any kind of this penetrating oil is just a godsend for little niggles and bits and getting bolts free and stuff. But anyway, that'll do for this, because that's like a 10-minute video, I think. But yeah, we're making progress. It's just slow going. It's a lot of time consuming sanding. I mean, I could use paint stripper, but I don't want to get into that whole mess. So yeah, it's easier for me just to sand it. I don't know why. It's just how I do things. I feel I get a better finish with it. But yeah, hopefully next time you see this, it'll be reassembled in some form or another. That'll be the next milestone, is actually getting a wheel together. So, right, see you later.